I think we are live. Yes, we are. Hi, everyone. Welcome today to our talk. Hi, dear community. You can see some people waving, excited to welcome you. I can't read from here, so I'm sorry. It's a bit of, we try to make it as clear, as visible as possible on both Facebook and Instagram. Thank you, community, dear friends and family, for being here and joining the live, and whomever is joining later to watch our video. I am very excited to have our guest speaker today, Saida, who is a holistic healer, a light worker, and a teacher. And she's joining us today to speak about how to elevate your vibrations and navigate upon the situations that we are facing right now. So, Saida, tell us a little bit in a few words about yourself and convey yourself as a person as well as a professional.
Well, anyway, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to all those who have joined. Thank you so much for taking out the time and being available. And thank you, Nabila, for inviting me over here. Beautiful energies. I'm always so blessed to be in this area. So basically, I'm here with just a flow, and I'll tell you who I am. I work with the heart energy. So basically, to me, it is to go into the heart space and to delve in and to look at everything through the heart. So that is my main thing. This is what I do. Is my healings are according to that. My life, I try to live my life according to that as well. So I am a teacher. I teach cosmic heart wisdom. I am also now beginning to teach light keys, which is also a new modality. And it's the frequencies of the cosmos. That is what I'm very interested in. It's what allows you to have the access from your heart into the cosmos, that allows all the information to go in, and then you have the access to it, and then you navigate through your own heart space without somebody telling you that's good for you, that's good for you. It's you go into your heart space and you find out. So this is what I teach. It's my cosmic heart wisdom is not a modality, but it's just a way of living, empowering yourself, tools that allows you to clear stuff from the past, stuff in this lifetime, soul contracts, fears, all sorts of things that we actually deal with in the now, in the present now. So this is what I do. I'm a housewife. I sit at home. I'm a healer. I am a friend. I am basically just flowing through my heart space.
We've met with Saida at the initial stage of the launch of Just Be, and I felt that our meeting was so crucial in my journey as a sister, as I discovered the beautiful person that you are, beyond being the practitioners and the professional that you are. And I believe that the human qualities that we do have are in it, and that's what drives us to wanting to develop ourselves, and then to feel that we want to share our journeys and do something to basically serve ourselves as well as serve the community. And I must say that I was really, really keen to invite Saida to come and voice her story as well as her journey as a professional, because it did create an impact in my life. As I learned a few of her tools, I've trained for her cosmic heart wisdom all throughout since she launched it, and it's incredible because you just feel that, for me at least, if I may share my journey, it just felt so natural. It felt it's like it was already within me. All those tools were just dormant, and it was just like an activation. It's like as if someone met someone that was through Saida to give me the keys to unlock the dormant information, the dormant tools within, to help me improve my life and help me to improve my daily life with really very practical tool that guides you through the process, be it meditations when you wake up, how you align your energies through your entire day, how to shield your energy, how to cleanse your energies, how to cleanse the space you're within, how to develop your intuition, how to connect with your heart, how to heal your heart, which is the basically gateway to all the wisdom. And I really truly loved. I actually witnessed when you channeled, right? This beautiful modality that came to you. Tell us more about that.
Basically, I didn't know this, but I know that I had a fall in 2017, and after that things have started shifting, things have started changing in my life, and I knew something was going on. So I have, of course, we all have mentors, and I have a mentor, and she was, working with me and guiding me, and actually giving me the tools to work with. The cosmic heart actually came from there. And then as I worked with it, as I taught it, the more I worked with it, the more I taught it, it just became different, organically mine. And I started receiving information that I have to activate hearts. And I was like, how do I activate hearts? I don't know anything myself. And as soon as I started doing a meditation, I was made to go into each person and activate each person's heart. And like you said, it's a key, and that's what I was given, a key to put in each person's heart, so that you have access to your own heart and you can take care of your own well-being your own way. So it was it's like a switch that comes on within you, and you become completely activated, knowing that you are you are the divine, you are the creator, you are the universe, everything is you. And until you go inside that space within you, there is no other way. We like, I'll just diverse a little bit. I digress a little bit here. Like when COVID started and we were under the lockdown, all of us were like, imbalanced. We didn't know what to do.
That was actually the next question that I was coming up. How is it for you, this
so basically
experience?
Exactly. So the thing is that all of us were like imbalanced. We didn't know what to do. And I was grappling, like, do I need to do more meditations? Do I need to do another course? Do I need to find something else to keep myself occupied? It was that rat race. It was that space where we felt that there was no stopping. And everything was about, oh my God, that course has come out and that person's doing that. I need to find out about it. It was almost like everything outside there was calling out and you want to do it. But then as soon as the lockdown happened, you had to stop and you had to look within. And for me, that was the biggest challenge, because I didn't know how to stop, and I didn't know how to really be within myself. Even though I taught Cosmic Heart, I know how to connect to my heart space, but to stop and to actually love myself and to actually give me that time and the energy, that wasn't there. That never was there. So this was the biggest challenge for me, was to be still and actually go within. And the more I did that, the more I disconnected from the world. I literally disconnected from the news, from the people around me. I did not receive phone calls. I did not go out. My sleep pattern, as you know, shifted completely. So I'm like awake at night, sleeping in the mornings, most of the morning. So things just started moving in a different rhythm. And I realized that the more I just sat with myself, the more I connected within myself. My universe was me. And that was the main thing that I had to discover, that it was me that I was looking for. I was not looking for answers from outside. I was not looking for an upgrade, activation, course, meditation. No, I was looking for me. And where was me? Where is that being? And that was within myself. So I really tapped into that space of my consciousness flowing through my body, understanding that all the molecules within our dimensions, within our bodies and the dimensions, they are clogged up. The spaces between the molecules are clogged up with all the solidified limitations and the points that we carry, the opinions that we have. And the more I realized this, the more I let go of it, the more I said, you know what, this is not what I wanted, this is not me, and this is not me. I got space, and I was able to expand in that space. So to me, the biggest thing that I've actually done is that to stop, to be still, to go within, and to really have zero expectations. Because when we have expectations of certain outcomes, certain way of living, certain lifestyle, certain family members, you are bound, you are limited. You are not able to access the infinite wisdom that the cosmos has for you. And as a multidimensional being, you are that. You are that infinite wisdom. How can you not have access to it? The only way is because you have limitations that you've put as barriers within yourself. So the more you let go of these, you are able to just clearly channel your way right into the heart of it, right into the heart of source, where that source energy is always available to us. But do we know how to get it? We say, okay, we're going to the seventh dimension, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're connected to the heart. But are you really doing that? Are you really connected? Are you really tapping into that highest wisdom, the highest truth? Is it your truth? Is it somebody else's truth? What is the truth? To me, those were the things that came about. It's like asking myself, that what is the truth? I don't want to know, Saida's truth. I don't want to know Mohsin's truth. I don't want to know Nabila's truth. I want the truth.
And that's, I believe, one of the biggest struggles when you start developing yourself and being more and more connected from within, and wanting to develop your intuition. And always the struggle comes up between, okay, I'm hearing voices right now. I'm feeling this guidance, but where is this guidance coming from? Is it my head? Is it my ego, stepping in and filling my head, or is it a heart voice? And that was very, very, that's, I believe, for most of us, a challenge.
I go through too.
And I found that just coming back to the cosmic heart wisdom, that the fact that it gives you the tool to be in that space the longest possible and to connect to that space, and to be in that stillness, it gives you that dimension, or this space to expand and being more and more in connection with the heart voice. It's like a workout. It's like you can't expect to just enroll to the gym and do a couple of hours of sessions, and you expect that's it, that the connection is to the utmost and you're connected. It needs that investment of time, energy, space, willingness to be able to develop and fine-tune and also carry out. I really love the name of the modality, because it's a wisdom, and I've been practicing it now as a professional as well for quite a few years, and it had really created beautiful results on many people that I have worked with, and it's incredible, because it's tools that actually, when you practice them on others, you can also hand them over to everyone who's receiving the tools to be able to apply them in themselves. So just to come back to the pandemic, and what did you learn the most out of this experience, and what are you learning? It's an ongoing, we're still there, but what did you learn from it so
my
far?
biggest thing was to be still.
Please be closer.
Be still. The biggest thing was to be very still, and to actually be able to tap into my own information. That was being my biggest struggle or challenge while I taught Cosmic Heart, has been me needing that validation. That am I really doing it, or is this really happening, or am I really in my heart space? Like you said, is it the mind, is it the heart? But the Cosmic Heart wisdom tells you how to know that you're in the heart space. So even then, I had to have these doubts within myself that, is that me teaching it? Is somebody else teaching it? What's going on here? So I think my biggest learning in this process has been to be so still and so within myself, and have zero expectations, and have nothing to do. No TV, no Netflix. I'm not even interested in any of those. So what happened was, it just made me sit within myself. It made me go deep within me. So actually, funnily, like you've talked about this pandemic thing, I also have another set of activations that have come through. The DNA activation and Triunity activation, which I already do in level 3. This is another, like a new one that's come through. So it just feels like the more I allow, it is wisdom that is universal. It's not new. It's universal wisdom that every human being on this planet has it. Every being has it. It's just that how much of it are you allowing it to come through, How much are you tapping into it, and how willing are you to be in allowance of it? Because if you do not surrender and you say, you know what, okay, I let go of all my layers and I'm ready and standing there raw and naked, just willing to be me, that's when the magic happens, right? It's like all these layers and layers, the dressing up, the layers that we put on, like the clothes that we put on our body. That's what we do with our beliefs and the limitations that we carry within our bodies, right? It's a layering that I realized that I had to let go. So I worked on that. And once I had gone through March and part of April, that's when I realized, okay, I'm looking for something different now, something that is more powerful, something that can give me tools to reach out to people. So I dabbled into light keys, which is a modality, it's a self-healing modality. And even though there are like, 50, 100 courses in it, I have taken the ones that I really resonated with. And I feel that it really works well with the cosmic heart wisdom that I'm doing. So it is cosmic frequencies working with the light keys. So it's called light keys, which means you're using the cosmic light to open doorways. It's like a key. It's a key to unlock the doorway to your own being. And it's a beautiful way of working. So a lot of the times, we are looking for like people, including myself, anybody who will use these big words like galactic, multidimensional, then you get really, oh my god, that person knows so much about this stuff. But you know what is galactic and what is multidimensional? I mean, it's all here, it's all you, right? So the minute you realize that basically you just need to be so still and so naked and so raw, that's when the magic starts. And this has been my journey in the last 3 months, sitting here just working within myself, just allowing, some days just lazing, just being me, just allowing myself the time, allowing myself to cry, allowing myself to have the tears come, which I had blocked for years and years. So it's almost like there are layers of me that are breaking down now, which have been as barriers to me reaching my own self. So cosmic heart wisdom is an integral part of my life because it's not a modality. It's literally wisdom of your heart. How can wisdom of your heart be a modality? It's empowering tools. So you use that and you become more and more magnified as a person. You become more and more elevated as a person. And all this elevation just permeates through the cells of your body. And it's just this enlightening of your cells is what we are all aiming for, right? So to me, that is what I've been doing, is literally just being still and allowing and breaking through the barriers that I've created within myself. And I have no expectations now. I've come to this point where I really have zero expectations, and every day when I wake up, it's a new day. I am in the now, I'm in the present, communication is divine, and I'm just flowing. So I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Absolutely. So let's chunk it down into, like, for those audiences who are not very familiar with how the energy works, what frequency is all about. Could you please, like, in a very simple words, explain how the energy works?
Sure, we can do that. So basically, the simplest way that I talk to some of my clients who have zero information about energy is I tell them, when you go to get an ECG done of your heart, what do you see? You will see a graph. Why do you see a graph? Because there are electrical impulses that are going on into your heart. If you go and get an ultrasound of your kidneys, you will see the same stuff. There is a plus and minus in your body. There is polarity inside the body. There is electrical charge in your body. That's energy. So when we call ourselves the physical body, we are actually energy. And that is the energy that we are tapping into so that we can become us. I can become me, right? So when I am looking at the energy of a person, how do you go into it? You say, okay, but I know that this is me, but how do I access my energy? Your energy is a field around you, which is because we are everything. You are not you and I'm not me. We are all one. We're blended. So when we are all everything in the universe, basically you have to have that kind of a connection, that blendedness, Where does that come from? It's your auric field, which is like the energy field around your body, that actually extends out. So we are so connected to the dense physical body, but we are not connected to that energy field around our body that actually allows us access to the other dimensions and the realms. So when I talk about energy, I said you as a being are an energy being. So once you understand that every electrical impulse in your body is energy and you are energy, then there is no doubt that you can actually just tap into that and work with it, because you're not that physical body, because a physical body has boundaries, has limitations. Energy just flows. It's like it moves. So once you are out of that mind frame of me being the physical body, then it's magic, right? So what the way I say is that you are energy. So you get how I explain it that way, that you know that how your body is electrical impulses. The main thing is to get your breathing to the point, like you do breath work, so you know how it is, like when you breathe slow and deep, you calm your brain waves down to a point where you're coming to the theta or the delta brain waves. When you are in that brain wave, there is no limitations. You can literally leave your body, the consciousness can just skip the body, and you can go basically and navigate anywhere you want to go. So it is as simple as just watching your breath, slowing it down enough, and allowing your mind to just be there. Your mind is part of, it's a dimension, it's part of you. It's not something that you need to get rid of, but you need to allow it to be what it is without fighting it, and then getting into the heart space by using your breath. So the more you do that, the more you're able to tap into the wisdom of your heart, becoming that energy being rather than being that physical body. Make sense?
Absolutely. How do you connect with your energy? How can you, develop this bridge between your physicality and this energy field, and develop a communication field between both?
So basically, it's a muscle. Intuition is a muscle. Going into the body and actually being able to tap into your wisdom is a muscle. If you believe that you are this physical body with the arms and your legs and your fingers, then you can only work with that. But if you allow yourself to believe that there is a dimension outside of you that's bigger than you, bigger than the physical body, and you want to tap into it, and every day, if you just stay still, take deep breaths, allow yourself. So the way I would say, like I'll give you an exercise, the way people can actually do it is to stop, close your eyes, get into your, like just take into deep breaths, just slow down the breathing, and then see like a ladder from the mind to the heart. A ladder going right through the center of your throat, and see you going down the ladder. So this is like a physical way of actually connecting to the energy of you, because once you know that you're in the heart space, then basically that's the gateway to your energy field. So go down the ladder, go into the heart, and then allow that heart space to expand. So go beyond the physicality of the heart, not the beating heart. Just feel the vibration of it, the vortex in your heart. And once you are in that space, just allow it to expand. Just breathe and say, I'm expanding, I'm expanding, I'm expanding, and the whole thing just comes out. The more you work with this, the more you start feeling that your energy is coming out of your body, then you know that you're connecting to something beyond. It's like when you're falling asleep at night, and then suddenly you wake up and you go like that. You know, it's like your energies are shifting. Your consciousness is leaving and coming back. So we do that unconsciously all the time. It's just consciously being aware of it that you can actually be that energy consciously.
How, if you are to share with the community right now, what would be those self-help tools that you'd like to share with the community to help them navigate through the situations that they're facing right now and helping themselves?
Sure. So basically, the best way here is to allow yourself the freedom to be. A lot of the times when we as women, you're taking care of your business, you're taking care of the house, you have the children, you have all sorts of agendas going on. But instead of all that being paramount, it's to just wake up in the morning and just smile and give yourself a hug. How many times do you really do that? How many times do you wake up with a smile on your face, just smiling because you're alive? Not because your child walks in, not because your husband is next to you, not because you have a phone call that tells you you won $1 million. Nothing. You just wake up because you smile because you are alive. How many times do we do that? So when you do something like that, you wake up and you smile and you just give yourself a big hug, and then you start getting out of the bed. Then you will see that the rest of the day is going to be a day full of grace, a day full of gratitude, because your smile is telling the universe, you know what, thank you for keeping me alive. And it's telling the body, thank you for keeping me alive. Like, you know, how many times do you even check with your heart that are you okay that you're beating so many times in a day, like 72 beats or, you know, average per minute? Are you checking with your heart that it's doing that? So it's a good exercise to wake up smiling, you know, just giving yourself a hug, go to the bathroom, just look at yourself and look deep into your eyes and give yourself a smile. How many times do you actually look deep into your own eyes? As healers, as other people as well, we look at people and we have mirrors, you know, like, or everyone is a mirror. Your own eyes are your own mirrors. So look into your own eyes and go into the depth of your soul. Look deep. Sometimes, you know, you don't want to look because it's like it's something that you've not done. You're shy, you're feeling uncomfortable, but stand there and just stare at your eyes and bring a smile on your face. So that's you connecting to your soul, to your consciousness, and talk to every part of the body, thanking the body for, you know, actually allowing you to stand up and walk to the bathroom. How many times do you check with your legs that they're doing all this heavy duty work for you? So when you start your day, I'm giving you very simple tools to actually connect. It is a connection.
Simple but yet so powerful, I must say.
It's the connection.
Yeah.
Because if you
It's
connect to your
well.
body, that's when the magic happens, right? Because we are disconnected from our bodies. So you connect fully to each part of your body, and then you start off like what I do is I have like 5 or 6 things that I mentally have gratitude for. So just have gratitude. I love opening the window in my bathroom because the minute I do that, I can see the trees and I can hear the birds. And I have the first thing I do is I'll be grateful to them for the sounds that they're giving me and the birds that they're flying around. So the minute you start connecting then to the nature and having gratitude for the life that is just buzzing around you, that's when the buzzing in your body starts, right? So these are the ways to get your day started. I also like to connect into my, like I said, go to the mind, take a ladder down to your heart, and then just intend that all your chakras are completely open and attuned and aligned. You don't have to do anything because you are everything. Your chakras are part of you. Everything is you. So why do you have to go to each part and say, okay, open this, close this, do this? Just intend from your heart that every center in your body is open, flowing, connected, attuned, aligned. And then visualize them all opening up like fountains or like lotuses, you know, each one of them opening up until you're right up to the heart. And I like to even connect to earth through my feet. So when you're standing, just ground, connect to earth, and visualize a stream of light from the crown coming, from the cosmos coming down to your crown. That tells you that you're always connected to God. You know, like you don't have to feel that disconnection. You don't have to feel that, you know, somebody has to do something for me, then that's when I'll experience God. God is you. So basically, have that connection happen all on the spot, all the time. So these are simple ways of working with the people who are not energy workers. Energy workers can do a lot more with the breath, just getting your brain waves down, and then actually going into the higher consciousness and aligning your body energies. Cosmic Heart teaches you how to cleanse your body, teaches you how to clear your space, clear your own body space, clear the spaces of the room, gridding of the body, gridding of the area. It teaches you how to clear contracts. If you've had a fight with somebody, you know, to go in and to clear the contracts with that person so that there is nothing karmic waiting there. So you can clear all the karmic stuff that's coming around as well. So there's a lot of stuff that Cosmic teaches, but in terms of just daily navigation of how to lead your life on a daily basis with having no other tools is to just simply connect with yourself. Simply be you. Make sense?
Perfect. Are there any other tools that you'd like to share? beyond that, like maybe a demo that could help
We,
the
we could
community
we could do
to
a beautiful
travel through the experience. I know that there is going to be a meditation coming
yes,
and
this
a
is
talk.
what I was going to just say, that we could do a meditation to connect to the heart. Just experience how does your heart feel, how does your heart feel to you when you connect deeply within it. I also feel like the light keys that I'm teaching is it's just 2 and 3 hour courses, but what it does is it gives you powerful tools where a lot of the people shy away from the healing work because it requires effort according to the mindset. But this one doesn't require that effort. It just brings the tools to you, like it's the cosmic light that we're using. So it's powerful, it's quick, it really works like magic. So it's one of the things that I would
Is it are these tools that like, for example, the cosmic heart wisdom, is it accessible to all? Do you need to have a certain background in the
nothing at all
field?
I think one time, I think you were probably present here, is that we had a lady come in who had never experienced any healings before, and basically she just said that she felt the pull towards cosmic heart because you had put it up on Instagram, and she said that she just looked at the energy of it and she came. And the first 2 days she kept saying, I feel nothing, I see nothing, what about the Quran, what about this, because there was a lot of beliefs that were coming in the way. And I was sure she was not going to come back. And she not only came back, she did the level 2 as well. And it was like she started just realizing who she was, the power that she was. So cosmic heart works with anybody. It doesn't have to be that you have to have done any work before, because what is cosmic heart? Cosmic heart is you connecting to your inner self. You going into the heart and finding that gateway to the cosmos. The gateway to the cosmic dimensions is through your heart. So that's all it is. There is really nothing more than that. It's just being in that space where a lot of activations can happen, because when your heart is centered and when you are stepping into that gateway of your heart, your throat can be activated, your heart will be activated, a lot of stuff can happen. A lot of the times people are experiencing situations where they suddenly either they'll become pregnant because their solar plexus and the sacral has been cleared up, and all because they've gone into the heart space, nothing more. So the higher dimensions are all accessible when you are in the heart, and your physical body also starts functioning properly, right? So I feel that that's why I don't ever call cosmic heart as a modality. I say that they're tools. It's just empowering tools. It's something that allows you to use it as and when you want it. It allows you to have connection with your guides. It allows you to have connection to your higher self. Who is your guide? Guides and higher selves are all aspects of you. So we even do a little bit of a soul journey where you understand how we came about as a fragment. And when you understand aspects of yourself as the higher self and the guides, and you can have different guides at different levels. Why? Because they're all part of you. So the more you work with certain guide, and then you become that guide, and then you work with another guide, you become that guide. So you are literally becoming that aspect is becoming integrated within you. And that's what it is. So nothing is outside of you. Everything is within. It's like you go to the center of the eye, the storm in the center, that's your heart. So you can have all this going around you, but when you stand in the center of your heart, you are in that calmness. You are in that space where all chaos can be happening, the pandemic, job losses, everything. It's all that is happening around you, but you're standing in the center in complete peace and calm. And you can only do that if you're right in the center of your heart, because that allows you to be free of the fears of the collective. That allows you to be free of your own fears. It allows you to have no expectations. It allows you to be without any limits. So you are literally standing there in your heart and just standing and watching everything going around and not being affected. And how about if you just step out a little bit into the storm and experience it a little bit and then come back again? You have the choice to do that as well. So it's like nothing is outside of you. You can decide how much of it you want to experience in your reality and be in the storm, and how much is it that you want to step back and be in the calmness.
And also the change of the perception that the storm is there to teach us to recenter ourselves.
Absolutely.
We need to get lost to then find our way back home. And the experience, that the whole, the aim or the purpose of being here is to experience the duality, right? And get to forget, and so to remember and come back on the path.
And to have different aspects of it.
And so when you are in this attunement, this harmonization between the heart that guides you first, and then the mind and the ego and the body following the heart and what the heart's wisdom says and guides the process, then no matter how strong the storm is, if to come back to your analogy, you are always in that center self to go through and beyond any situation that you come across, with the trust that if you have attracted that situation, it's because you do have the ability to overcome it. And we're just being tested. And the only way for us to validate ourselves is to go through the experience and survive it and make it practical to ourselves, to then stamp it and say, yes, I'm apt for it, I can do it. I really love the simplicity of the tools, but let's come back to, let's say, overall, beyond the cosmic heart wisdom and other modalities, how can we technically elevate our frequencies?
Frequencies is to not buy into the fear of the collective. It's as simple as that. Stay away from the fear of the collective. That doesn't mean that you're not aware of what's happening. Awareness and actually stepping outside of it are two different things. So you be aware of what's happening around it, be vigilant, have your safety, do all that stuff, because obviously there is something there, right? But also have no fear of it, because fear drops your vibration. You cannot elevate when you have fear in you. So the fear will constantly drop your vibration, and when your fear drops your vibration, your energy field becomes cracked, or your energy field becomes weakened. Instead of the thickness that it has, it becomes very, very fragile. And that's why then you can fall into the trap of all sorts of things happening to you. It's not just the COVID, but it could be anything else. It could be situations in the home, it could be job situations. All these things you literally attract within yourself because you've bought into the fear, because fear weakens your field. So there are two powerful emotions. Just like we have plus and minus in the body, you have love and fear. And every positive emotion stems from love, and every negative emotion stems from fear. So if there is depression, if there's anxiety, if there is if there's worry, all that is stemming from fear. So once you understand that fear is like the biggest player in the field, and you say, you know what, I'm not part of it, I don't want that. And once you step away from it and you go even slightly away from it, that's it, you've won the thing. So having the awareness and not stepping into the fear of the collective is one of the biggest ways to actually keep yourself elevated in this thing. Also connecting to nature, more so now, because what has happened is over the last few years we have destroyed nature, and we've forgotten how to connect with nature. So the more you step outside, you connect with your bare feet. You don't need to do anything. You just need to stand there. That's it. Just standing in the outdoors is enough connection. I suddenly realized that now I like to go and actually have chats with my trees, because you suddenly feel like they are consciousness. We take them as just something that's just like an ornament in our places, but they're not. They are consciousnesses, right? So you start feeling that the connection with nature is very important. Our bodies were designed to move as well. So moving in nature is one of the best things that you can do for yourself as well. And everything is about dancing with that joy, right? So if you let go of limitations and allow yourself to move with the dance of your soul, allow the music to be the vibration of your soul. You literally in that rhythm, so you can be in the stillness, in the calm, and you're still dancing and moving, because your soul is dancing and moving all the time. There's rhythm, there's vibration everywhere, right? So these are very, very simple, practical ways of actually keeping your emotions out of danger, not stepping into the fear, and to allow yourself to pick yourself up quickly. Because why would you need somebody else to pick you up? You pick yourself up by just allowing your soul to start shining through. How do you do that? Your soul wants to just guide you, wants to dance with you. It has to be like that camaraderie with the soul, right? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to shake hands with the soul and say, "Come, be my partner, let's dance"? The vibration is always there. So allow that to happen where you are continuously moving in the rhythm of your soul.
It's beautifully said, actually. I'm just visualizing it, how beautiful it can be to actually be in connection with your soul and in perfect harmony, where you receive what the soul guidance in what's next, what's coming up, and what can serve me the best out of whatever situation. And the gateway, it is the heart. And in order to be able to reach out to the heart, you need to declutter the mind. It's a very, very big one, as you were mentioning about the conditioning of the mind and how much clutter do we have, that overload that always comes and interfere into that attunement and that silence and this beautiful guidance that is within us, and we all know it. We are all intuitive and we're all gifted. I would testify to say that also what happened, and how it served me. The cosmic heart wisdom was a tool that allowed me to basically feel empowered to have the road map, the kind of individual, unique road map to access my truth, access my wisdom, my own wisdom, and tailor made for me, because it's so unique, and that's what I love the most. I never needed a book. I never really checked the manual. It just made all sense. It felt like it's activating that inner wisdom, and also those abilities, because when we connect, it's not always to heal and declutter, the whatever that those negative emotions and so on, but it's also to unfold and activate those abilities that are and gifts that are dormant within us and we don't have access to it. And I truly really say that the cosmic heart wisdom, it was one of the most powerful tools that allowed this to happen and unfold.
Thank you. Actually, I truly believe that it is one of the most simplest ways of using it. At the same time, it's profoundly powerful.
Yeah, and you don't need to be sitting somewhere isolated. You can be just sitting
I
in a
drive
car.
and I do my work sometimes. It's like
Incredible.
it's so beautiful. And it allows you to be the power that you are, the divine self that you are. That's the main thing. It's just allowing you to become the creator of your life. You are co-creating with God at all times. And to do this co-creation, you have to take your creative powers in your hand. He's doing his job. But what about you? Are you there as a co-creator doing the stuff? No. So unless we take that thing back and say, okay, you know what, I have the abilities, I have the information, I have the wisdom, and my heart is open. And it's not about having skills, abilities, light language. It doesn't matter. I mean, I know those are amazing things, amazing tools, but it's what is available to you as a being is completely individual, is completely unique. What you are and what you have brought onto this planet, it is all decided, and it's you yourself have decided that. How much of it are you going to open up and allow it is what matters. And in level 3, which you haven't done, we have the integration of the other aspects of you, and you actually do it yourself consciously. So when you start doing that, you realize, oh my God, I could bring that in, and I could bring that in, and because it's all available to you. So you don't have to wait for the time to come when things will open. Like we sometimes say, right? Oh, it'll happen in time. But you can actually allow it to come, because there is no time. Time is an illusion. So why do we have to wait for the time? Why is it that we have to wait for a certain time? Yes, we are bound by the law of time on this plane, on this earth plane. But that doesn't mean that you have to wait for any of it, because it's all available to you in the now, in the present moment. And you can just be, you can be accessing all dimensions, all in the now. Anything beyond a minute before, a moment before, a moment after, you've lost it. It's to be in the moment now, right now, this minute, this moment. So the minute you allow your mind to be in the now, present, fully present, without a single thought telling you of the past or the present or of the future, then that's it. Then that's where you are.
You are mastering your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I will try to engage with the community as I'm seeing that there are some comments. And in the meantime, if you do remember what's coming next, if you can announce it to the community.
So we have a meditation that is planned. It's next week on Sunday. It's I think 14th of June at 6:30 in Jaspi. It's a free talk and meditation, just telling you about stuff that I am offering, what I have available, and just a journey to your heart. I don't know what's going to come. It's normally I just sit and I allow, and whatever comes. So that will be on the 14th, and then on 15th, 16th, 17th, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, from 5:30 evening to 10 at night, we are having Cosmic Heart Wisdom Level 1. Level 1 is about soul contracts. When you clear soul contracts, you have to clear the Akashic records. It tells you the journey of your soul, how you actually became who you are. So it's a beautiful way of actually just starting your cosmic wisdom journey. So that's level 1. And then I think we have Thursday as a break, and then the weekend comes, Friday and Saturday, and we do 9:30 in the morning till 9:30 in the morning till 6 in the evening is Cosmic Heart Wisdom Level 2. Level 2, I call it the spiritual alchemy level, which is to do with how you create your reality by letting go of limitations, the fears, and literally creating out of nothing. You have the power to create out of nothing. So that's your level 2. And so we are at that 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then 21, we have a day off. And then 22, 23, 24, again, it's Cosmic Heart Level 3. It's in the evening, 5:30 to 10. And that is one of the ones that I'm really looking forward to teaching, because it's integration of the triunity, because we have your physical body, you have your light body, and you have your divine spark, and we are going to unite all three and integrate them to actually make you the powerhouse that you are. And so that's a triunity. And then we have the DNA activation. So we all know that we have junk DNA, and a lot of the times we receive activations in our healings from people, but to actually get activated after your triunity is what gives the magic, because then your body is aligned to receive the DNA activations. And the DNA activation opens up your soul gifts, your abilities from the past, and all these things, beautiful stuff. We have light language activation in there. Mind you, I don't have my own light language, but it's something that has happened in the course where people are activated. So that's it's not one of my purposes to bring light language for me. So light language activation is part of it. Chakra collapse, because where we have all this, it's not the chakras per se, like the energy centers remain, but the chakras are manipulative programs or things that we have kept from the past that has continued going with our DNA, the soul DNA. And it has remained in the morphogenic field, where we have these programs of not being able to step into our power, all those things. So we collapse the chakras to be able to actually become one beautiful center in our body, which is fully activated. So that's level 3 and 22, 23, 24, and then I think we are done after that. And we see how it goes after that, right?
And it's going to be physically live at Just Be.
Yes. And we have online as well.
And as well as
live.
Online. Yeah, on Zoom.
Yes.
So thank you for being here today. It was an honor to have you.
Thank you for inviting.
Sharing all these beautiful tools and helping the community override the situation that we're all going through. It's been a pleasure to have you,
Thank you very
on
much.
board
really
today. And if you want more information, join us for the upcoming meditation. And please engage. I couldn't read through the questions. It seems that we had some issues with the sounds, but yeah, technicality issues. We'll attend that, but if you have any other further questions, don't hesitate to leave your questions, and we'll attend them as soon as we can.
Yeah, I'll be happy to answer anything that you have for me personally with the work that I do, or anything that we've talked about today. Anything that people have brought, things can open up, or things, triggers or whatever has come up.
And
be happy to answer.
joining the meditation will be then giving you access to journey and experience it for yourselves, and of course stay in your heart and see and hear and feel what sounds right to your heart always. And if it's something that can help, it did help me, and hence why I wanted to voice it out today and invite the community to share this experience with them, and because I know that it helped me a lot and it can help so many others. And yeah, it's there available. If you'd like to know more about it, we're here to inform you. So thank you, and we'll continue the lives soon every Sunday, and stay tuned.
Thank you so much.